Hello, my friends. I wanted to come on and do a just a flip through of everything that I've done, almost everything that I've done so far this year. I'm going to try to make this fairly quick for you. So I'm not going to linger a whole long on each layout. So let's go ahead and get started. So these first couple of layouts are just some random ones that I did for myself. And this one, I'm using some Hip Kit Club product here. These florals, I just did a print and cut with my Cricut and created those. And I think I've added some Nuvo drops here, and this is a Hip Kit Club die, I think. I think it is. I'm going to forget what a lot of this product is. I'm really bad about that. So this is another one I did for fun. This is different from my normal style, but I wanted something just clean and simple. And I really wanted the journaling on this one, which is unusual for me, but it kind of felt like this one needed it. This is all Hip Kit Club product. This is another one using Hip Kit Club product. And I just had some leftover bits and pieces in one of my kits. I think this may be September's of last year's kit. Anyway, I had some stuff left over and I kind of wanted to get it used up. So that's what happened here. Now, these next few are from my Pink Fresh Friday hops that Joanne Bartell hosts. And I don't think that I work with the Pink Fresh product as well as what I would like to. It eludes me for some reason, but this is the only line that I have. This is the Lovely Blooms line. And so I'm just going to flip through real quick. Everything in these, it's all Lovely Blooms. That's all we can use is Pink Fresh Friday stuff. This one is just documenting we went to the state fair and they had a a butterfly exposition. And I thought it would be fun to document some of that. I attempted to roll some paper, and there's a reason why you never see me do it. I'm not very good at it, but I gave it a shot. Here's another one, clean, simple layout. I hadn't used these title pieces yet, and there's a whole sheet of them that you get with this, or that you can purchase in this line. So I thought I would figure out a way to make that work. This was last month's Pink Fresh Friday hop. I just let the paper do the work for me. And I just kind of added a couple of photos inside this frame. And I'm still going to journal on here. And then I'll probably do a little bit of journaling on the back also. But there's that. And this is this month's, June's hop. And I think I just had a process video on it this past Friday. So there's that. Now let me switch over to another set. These are from I'm on the design team for Stick It Down, and we are a sketch group. They have 3 sketches a month, one for a single page, one for a double page, and one for a card. And I'm on the single page team. So you would just have to go. I do have process videos on all of these. I think all of these. I definitely do on this one. And you would have to check it out and see the sketch. It's a fun group. They have neat sketches. And if you want to play along, you have an opportunity to be a guest designer too. So I'm not sure what month this was. I don't know the months. I have them out of order. So I'm not sure what months these are. I used on this one here, I used some very old product that I have in my stash that just has been needing to be used up. So every bit of this is really old stuff. Now this is a Stick It Down layout, but I used Hip Kit Club products for this one. And this is a Stick It Down layout that I just pulled from my stash, more very old product that I used. And I'm telling y'all, it's not usual for me to journal like this. I guess I'm making more of an effort to do that, but this part of the journaling was in that sketch. So I decided to incorporate some there. And this was June's sketch challenge. And you guys should be seeing, if you'll check my channel, on the 1st of every month, I'll post another one. So you guys should be seeing July's tomorrow, maybe. Okay. These are my layouts for Confessions of a Paper Addict. I started as a guest designer, and this was one that I did as a guest designer. And I love this layout. I love how it turned out. I never put this many photos on a layout, but here we go. I got them all on there, and you can look at them and see. They're just landscapes. I decided we had taken a trip to Phoenix, and we drove it. Of course, Scottsdale's just right there, short hop, skip, and a jump from Phoenix. And but we drove around looking at the landscape, went to a couple of botanical gardens, and I just took some photos. And I love that I got all of these photos on this layout, and it's interactive. It's fun. It's really cool. And I used Hip Kit Club products and Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file for this one. This one was also, I was also a guest designer, and this wood background right here is a Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file. And I'm using a really old product from my stash. Look at this. Look at these. It's insane how old some of this stuff is. It's crazy. Really old stuff. This one was a lot of fun right here. I was also a guest designer for this one, and I used Hip Kit Club product, but these clouds, these stitch clouds, are the cut file, and I just made this lightning myself. Just kind of cut it out of a piece of white cardstock and used my Distress Oxides on it and colored it up, and there we got more journaling that I claim to never do. This is probably my favorite one from Confessions of a Paper Addict that I've done. It might be my, oh gosh, I can't say that it's my favorite cut file because I've got another one down here, but that might be my favorite. But this is another attempt at killing a kit. This is Hip Kit Club stuff, and I'm using the last little bits and pieces of a kit. And honestly, that's a perfect way to do some of these cut files. It's a perfect use. Cut files are a way to use up those last little bits of scraps that you just don't want to throw away because they're too cute to throw away. So that's how these papers landed on here, and I love it. Well, this one, oh, another layout of my Charlie man. Also, Confessions of a Paper Addict. Their cut files are precious. You guys should go check those out if y'all haven't looked at them. They're extremely affordable, and you can use these guys over and over and over again. It's a purchase that is definitely not a waste of money because you never run out of them. It's a digital product you can cut over and over and over again. I did a little bit of the flower, the white here, and this is the cut file. And I did a little bit of hand stitching on this one, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but I did what's called a rope stitch on that one. Some people might call it a stem stitch. I think they are slightly different, but they look the same to me. So that was really fun because I had never done that before on a layout, and I really think that it helped tie this layout together. So I enjoyed that a lot. I just used some, when I don't have florals that I want to add, I usually will reach for some dies and just make my own. I think that's, well, dies are another product you definitely want to have in your stash for that reason right there. And but the rest of this is old product. All of the papers, and I think those doilies have been in my stash for 15 years. Old stuff. More old product. But this and another layout of my Charlie man. I didn't realize I did so many of him with Confessions of a Paper Addict. But we have ourselves a heart that is a wreath. And instead of making it big, I wanted it to just frame the photo. And I did some foiling on this one. And there's a process video. You guys should look it up. I did not. So I cut this out with a die and some... oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called right now. It's oh goodness gracious, hold on, let me look. It's this black toner paper. That's what it is. It's toner paper. And I cut it out with a die and then added my foil sheet on top and ran it through a laminator. I do not have an expensive foiling machine, but I really wanted to foil, so I thought I would give it a shot, and there are no issues. There are no issues with it. It is perfect. So I won't be buying an expensive machine because I think I paid less than 20 bucks for that laminator, and I am more than happy with it. This is another Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file, and this is, I'm trying to think. I can't remember the name of this cut file. I think it's a pinwheel, and there's stems that go on them, but I didn't use the stems. I cut two different sizes and I layered them up. And I do have a process video for this one. I used old product, and I tried something different with my mixed media that didn't work. So I just ended up putting a blob of it down and using my blow dryer to make it, you know, I guess make the lines, blow it all around. And these are Hip Kit Club right here, but the rest of this stuff is old product. Okay, Confessions of a Paper Addict. I love how this one turned out. I just used a stencil on the background with some distressed oxides. I have a very old, I just pulled out, I have a box of a whole bunch of scraps, a ton of scraps, and I pulled those out and used those to back this cut file. This cut file came all, it's one solid piece, and I just cut the leaves separately. I separated all of the leaves so I could arrange them how I wanted them on here. And this might be my favorite. This is this month's one that I've done for this month. Well, June, I guess, because by now it's probably July by the time y'all are watching this. And so I did, I had to scroll all the way back on her website to maybe her first or second page. She has a ton, Virginia has a ton of cut files on there. And this one is on the first or second page, but when I saw it, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it, and I think it is absolutely precious. I'm using Hip Kit Club product, and maybe that makes a difference. I don't know, but I just think it's adorable. I love it. This piece comes separate. These pieces come separate, and this black piece, I have the green pieces glued on top of the black. The black is a separate piece. So it's called Build a Camera cut file. I love it. All right, next up, I have my Shimmers layouts that I've done for the design team, and I am not going to be able to tell you what months these kits are from, except the obvious ones. Like this is from, maybe I have them in order, but this is from February. I know that, but don't be surprised if I forget what one of it's from. I am getting the kits. So the kits come with paper too. So this is a piece of paper. This is the back of that one. But this is the piece of pattern, one of the pieces that came in it. I stamped, is this a stamp? Maybe these flowers came in the kit. Gosh darn, I can't remember now. This is a stamp that I have. This heart piece, these little pieces right here come in the kit. This piece comes in the kit. I cannot remember what this is. I think this is a piece that comes in the kit, a coloring piece. And I just colored it up and fussy cut them out. And then I ran these pieces right here through a texture plate and an embossing plate. And then I just doused it. I just did my mixed media after I did the embossing and sewed the pieces on, and I love it. I love how that one turned out. This one I used a cut file from they usually release, Shimmers usually releases two, sometimes one, but usually two cut files each month with their kits. And that's what these are. I did mixed media on just the negative part of this heart. So this part that you see, the white, is the outline of the cut file. And then this was the negative part that came out of it. But I kind of wanted it to look a little like a lollipop, I guess, is what I was thinking. So I just did the mixed media on just these heart pieces. And then I glued some glitter to the outside edges. And there you have it. I pulled some letters from my stash. Those do not come in the kits, but everything else is. It's another one from February. I should have had this little girl's face covered. I apologize. I don't know who her mama is, but this is the February. Let me just do this real quick. And I fussy cut these out. I think this was a piece of patterned paper. I fussy cut the XOs out, and the rest of it I sewed right here. It kind of looks quilted a little bit, and then used my shears, my scissors here to get me a little fringe. And this is the only one that's in an 8.5 by 11, although I do scrap an 8.5 by 11. I just don't usually for my design teams. Okay, this I believe was March. So I they had some of the most adorable pattern papers in this March kit. I love it. And I used this die again. I think y'all have seen me use it previously. I used this die again, layered in some of the pieces from Shimmers, and did some mixed media on my background, and I hand stitched around the edge there. Added a couple of sequins, a few little sequins from my stash, and that was it on this one. Easy peasy. This is another fairly simple one. I have oh my gosh, a die. I think my die was from Hip Kit Club. And this little guy right here, and my doily, you've seen that one before. And then these hearts are from my stash. Oh, this is a die that I used in my stash too, but I don't know where. I think it's just a random generic die. But this is also from Shimmers. So I used the Shimmers paints on the background. This is the paper that comes in the kit. Some of the ephemera pieces. That little goose is so cute. These letters, oh no, these letters are from my stash too. Anyway, this was a fun one. I just started with a white piece of smooth cardstock, and I did a dry brush technique to help blend all of my colors together, my Shimmers paints together. And these guys are, and everything else is in the kit. This is white cardstock that I just made my own cut file, so to speak. I'm not a cut file creator by any means. I just went into Cricut Design Space and picked a font and put some words together. So, and this is all I can think of every time I see this photo of my granddaughter. She's just looking like, what the world? What the world? Anyway, super cute. Love that one. So I think this was kind of my kickoff. This was the point at which I didn't decide. I think subconsciously, it just kind of happened. I start using a lot of circles all of a sudden in my layouts, and you're going to see even more. Start using lots of circles. And I go ahead, and this is another one I pulled, a cut file I pulled out of Cricut Design Space. And this was these rolled flowers. Well, actually, these are layered flowers with a rolled center. These pieces are a cut file from Shimmers from this month. I don't know what month this is. I guess this is April. I guess this is April's kit. Anyway, this is a title from my stash and little bits and pieces from the Shimmers kit. This is May, I believe. And goodness gracious, I do not have another piece to cover her precious little face up with, but I didn't have permission from her mama either. So, these girls, this is my daughter right here. And these are all of her friends' bridesmaids. She was a bridesmaid in this wedding, and I couldn't resist this photo. So all of these, this is a Shimmers coloring page. It comes white, black and white, and then we color it in and fussy cut them out. And look at that beautiful camera. So pretty. Beautiful pieces. This is a cut file from Shimmers. And this title is from my stash. But the paper is also from Shimmers. This was quite the project on this one, and there's a bit of a story behind it. I'm going to try to make it, I'm going to keep it really, really short. Several years ago, maybe 5, I saw somebody doing this. I wish I could tell you who, I don't know, but I saw somebody doing this with their leftover letters, and I have been toting around a baggie with from a sheet of thickers that I couldn't make any more words with. So I glued them. I knew that at one point I was going to do this with these. So today, this was it. Not today, but this day was it. And I just basically, this was the cut file. I cut it out, and I traced it, and I cut the circle out of this striped paper. And then I took a white piece of cardstock and I laid the circle down, and then I just started gluing all of the letters. These are originally black, and these are originally like a burnt orange color. And now I have more of these letters, but all of these there was nothing. I wasn't going to be able to do anything else with them. So I stuck them down and I put gesso over them. I put white acrylic paint over them. And I just went to town with my Shimmers paints and ended up with this. And all of the rest of this stuff is also Shimmers. I don't have anything else on here but the letters themselves that are not Shimmers. And I did use dyes from my stash, but the papers are from Shimmers also. I just love how that turned out. It was really, really fun. And yes, it was a lot of mixed media. So I did end up backing it with a piece of like cardboard, thin piece of cardboard. Okay. This was a simple layout that this one and this one underneath it are from the June kits. That is correct. The June kits. Look at these. Look at the mice. This one here. Oh my gosh. They're so cute. And I basically put all of this right here. I arranged it and glued it all together and then popped it up on foam and centered it, then glued it down. And I just took a paintbrush and I just went under the edges with my Shimmers paints just to add a little bit of a shadow on that one. And I do have process videos for almost all of these, I think. If you guys want to go back and check out what I did in the past. And this is the most recent one that I did last week, I think. And I just went into Cricut Design Space and found a cut file. I love doing that. And you know, I have hundreds and hundreds of cut files, but sometimes it's just easier to pop in there and do a quick search for what you're looking for. And somebody has created it. And I wish I could give credit to the person who did it, but unfortunately I don't know who that is. But if somebody really, really, really wants to know, just ask and I will look it up. But I cut them out separately. The particular cut file comes with the different sections to cut out. So I just cut them all out separately. And this one I painted with the Shimmers paints. And these are stamps. And I painted with Shimmers paints. This is a Shimmers tag. And these are my alphas from my stash. And that's me and my husband. And he is my person. Okay, I have one more stack for you. Okay, this last set is all design team work that I've done for Hip Kit Club. And I do not have a process video for all of these. And I'm likely not going to remember what kit they're all from. So I'm just going to flip through real quick and discuss it. And if there's any questions about a specific layout that you need to know the kit, what month the kit is from, just ask and I will be happy to look it up for you. So this one, this kit comes with these very large titles. And I want to say this is March's kit. This is from the March kit. But again, like I said, I'm not real sure. I did just recently give one of these kits away though. This Precious die is also a Hip Kit Club die. And I basically just took some of their florals and placed it around a couple of photos. I love placing tickets like this on this, or tags like this on the side too. I think they're so cute. But these large titles are so much fun. I did a little bit of hand stitching up here, and I think for the first time in years, I added a staple to my page, and I don't think I've done it since this layout, but I like it. Okay, I'm just going to set these over here to the side. This is another one with these large titles, and I did, it's not a circle, but it's close enough. It's big hex in the middle here. And this paper comes with these florals printed on it in these corners. And I just kind of wanted to beef up those floral clusters just a little bit. So I added some fussy cut flowers to it. And I did a little bit of hand stitching here. More circles. I think I do have a process video for this one, but I think it might be on the Hip Kit Club site and not my page. I don't think I have one for this one, but I can't remember. And I don't remember which kit this is. It might be February's kit. But there were rolled flowers that is not a cut file. They come in the kit. So they're in the little spiral and you roll them up and you make these gorgeous flowers with them. And then all of the, yeah, this had to be the February kit. Then these cute little chipboard pieces, precious, more rolled flowers. I really like the way this one turned out. This was a mood board one that we did based on the mood board that month. And this one I think may have also been based on a mood board. It is February too. And there was a stamp set this month that's these stacked hearts, and I stamped it down the cardstock and fussy cut it out. And I actually used an X-Acto knife to cut these out with, because I couldn't get my scissors down in there. So, and I wanted all of these holes in here, but it's all Hip Kit Club. And this is another one, another circle, a wreath. I fussy cut this out of a piece of patterned paper, the whole thing with the X-Acto knife, even paying attention to get into the holes here. And then I just added some French knots around it because it needed some sprinkling, but I put a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on in this layout. I added all kinds of pieces all over the place that everywhere you look, if you just keep looking, you're going to find something different on all of them, all around the whole thing. I love it. Tuck some florals underneath. I fussy cut these guys and added some glitter. I think it's Nouveau glitter paste on top of it. So pretty. Love it. And this one was, maybe this was also a mood board challenge. And this particular month, I don't know which kit this is. I do apologize, but there is a die, the paintbrush die. Oh my gosh. All of the girls on the design team were doing the cutest things with that paintbrush die. It is so versatile. I'd love it. I think it's probably a really good staple to have in your stash. I definitely recommend getting it. I don't even know if it's still available at this point, but if it is, you should probably go grab it. Let's see. I just cut the things up in strips and distressed the edges and just sewed a stitch down the middle to create the background piece. And I pulled some stuff from the Pocket Life kit, and then just did a little bit of simple embellishing, nothing too dramatic. The background is dramatic enough, so I didn't want to do too much else to that one. This is a die that Hip Kit Club had for this particular month, and I took all of these negative star pieces and decided to just fill in the beams, I guess. It was a circle. I think it was a circle in the middle of the page that just had the beams. I can't remember, but I think it was just a circle. And this was the back side of that other hexagon piece that you saw. And this was the page that I cut the hexagon out of. So I backed it with another piece, the cloud piece, and just went with it. Figured out what I could do. I thought it was cute for the eclipse, and we were fortunate enough to be able to see the total eclipse this year, and that's the first one I have ever seen in my life, and it was phenomenal. I highly recommend, if you guys have a chance to make it to the next one, go. It is worth it. So I used a Hip Kit Club cut file for this one, and this is the same kit that this is from right here, and I made little shaker pockets out of the cut file, and I backed it's the piece of paper there is also from Hip Kit Club, and I just used some acetate. I guess I ordered a bunch of pieces of acetate from Amazon, I think, and I glued it, and I used the Scotch quick dry tacky, I guess, quick dry glue. Yeah, Scotch quick dry, and it has held up wonderfully. I've not had any issues. It just holds it right on there. And then I did a little bit of mixed media on the offcuts of this, and sewed around the edges, did some hand stitching around the edges, and just kind of decorated the rainbow up a little bit. This was a really simple one that I wanted to do because I wanted the frames, and I don't always use photos in my frames. Sometimes I'll just use the frames to go underneath a photo, if that makes sense. Kind of like this next one that I'm about to show you, but I actually wanted a picture in these frames, and these were the only two, I think, blue ones that we had in the kit, bluish blue and green, and I wanted the monochromatic layout. So this was in March, I believe it was in March. We had a whole lot of activity going on during International Scrapbooking Week, and one of the ladies had done a monochromatic layout, and I wanted to just kind of jump off of that and do my own. So this is it. And this is a before and after of a kitchen remodel that we did a few years back in a house that we no longer live in. But I hadn't documented it yet, so I thought it would be fun. This little guy, this is our nephew, and I cannot get enough of that precious little face, and he most definitely is a little doll for sure. I couldn't resist doing some fussy cutting, and because we had this piece of patterned paper that have these pieces in it, these colored squares in it, and then this one that have these diamonds, and they fit just perfectly inside it, so I couldn't resist doing some fussy cutting. And I just, these frames, chipboard frames, I just placed underneath the photo, which is what I usually do with frames. This is another Hip Kit Club cut file, and I love this one so much. It is adorable, and I often do these frames. You'll see me do this so much because I've said it over and over and over again. If I don't have my layout framed out in some way, it very much feels like everything is going to fall off the page. And this is a good example of it driving me bonkers because I don't have a frame around the edge or a border or something around the edge, but there was too much stuff already on this layout, so I deal with it. This is a die that should 100% be in everybody's stash if you do die cutting at all. The little film strip die. It's phenomenal. And we had some little wood veneer pieces this particular month, and they're so cute. Now these right here, these were just on a sheet of puffy stickers, the love and the fun and the happy, and there's several other on there, but I would love to have a whole sheet of just these little words, these little cursive words. They're so cute. Now here's one that I decided to do some more fussy cutting on. Actually, it was a lot of fussy cutting for this one. Took this piece right here. This was a patterned piece of paper, and I fussy cut this particular design out. Actually, on the paper, they're diamonds. They have them in a diamond shape. But when I cut it out and decided that I wanted to put it on this page, it was easier to turn it this way and to have it in squares to leave me these areas up here to embellish. Otherwise, these negative spaces would have been on the sides of the page, and I didn't think that was going to work very well for me. So this is the May kit too. Yeah. Now we're into these May kits, and I'm just now starting to work on, we just got our June kits, and I've done one layout with the June kit, and I don't know if it's in here. I think it might be in here. But this one is the May kit, and I think it's adorable. We have these little acrylic pieces and a couple of these bows. I would like to have a whole sheet of those too, purchase. And if y'all haven't read that book, go read it. It's great. Here's another little mixed media layout. This particular kit's a little grungier than most others that she does, but I love it. It's a popular kit. She put these little washi pieces in here for us too. It's a sticker sheet of washi butterflies and tape pieces that look like the tape. They're so cute. And some vellum pieces. And of course, shimmers on there. And I know I didn't tell y'all earlier, because I'm on the Shimmers design team, if you guys add my name to any of your Shimmers order, you'll get a free product with that order. But Kimberly often includes Shimmers paints in the color kits for Hip Kit Club. And they work so well. It's such a nice pairing. So here we go. Another just kind of a simple layout here. I'm not really, I don't know why I'm holding them all up. I need to just leave it right here, don't I? Now that I'm almost done, I figured it out. Let's see. I pulled out all of the blue vellum flowers and some more of the blue pieces because it's a boy, and this was our son's gender reveal. It was a fun day, and it definitely had to be documented. Another heavy mixed media piece. I ended up doing, this is a piece of cardstock from the Hip Kit Club cardstock kit, but I covered the whole thing in gesso and did some heavy mixed media. I ended up having to blend a couple of the colors from the color kit in order to achieve this orangey golden color here. And then this is a Hip Kit Club cut file, and I just painted it with the Shimmers paints that came in the color kit. And then another one of those bows And this is the washi butterfly that I put down on cardstock, white cardstock, and I fussy cut it out. So this is the last one. This is the first one. I guess you're probably going to be seeing it here on my channel first, if you haven't already seen it on the Hip Kit Club channel. But I do have a process video for this one. It was real simple. It's a quick process. And I just wanted to do something that was easy to duplicate if you wanted to follow along and do it yourself. Now this June kit, run to check it out. I don't know how long these kits are going to last. They are a little more, they lean a little, this one leans a little more masculine than the other ones, but she definitely sticks to the Hip Kit Club style. But I wanted to keep this one clean and simple. These guys right here, this is a rub-on. Oh my God. Y'all have got to go check out that set, those set of rub-ons. They're so cute. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I know this was much longer than the ones that I usually do, so I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys for checking out my videos. I hope you have a lovely crafty day. Bye-bye.